and welcome back to Bat Minute 89, the podcast where we crack open the skull of each minute of Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film and feast on the goo inside. I am one of your hosts, Niall McGowan.
And I am one of your hosts, John from Bat Minute 89, believe it or not. I'm a guest on my own show.
The John?
The John.
Wow. Today we are focusing on minute 14. Minute 14 opens with Vicki Vale and Alexander Knox greeting and meeting each other for the first time, and it ends 1 minute later with Vicki Vale turning down Alexander Knox's proposal of marriage.
Ooh, that took a swift turn.
Yeah, it's up and down this minute. It's
a roller coaster of emotion.
So I guess we go in straight away into we get our introduction to the female lead of the film, one Vicki Vale.
Woo!
Sporting here a very stylish ensemble of a black polo neck dress, I think it is, and immense shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah.
Nice ponytail going on, and some very nice specs as well.
I'm digging those glasses.
I will say this as well. Looks very similar to a look that Bruce Wayne himself sports later on in the film. You see him rocking a black polo neck with the big specs as well. So
well, maybe they share clothes.
I'm thinking it could be a sign of compatibility between the characters. Because we get that with them, and then we also got introduced to Vicki Vale as she had her feet up on somebody's table, which is something we would attribute to one Jack Napier in one or two other scenes in the film. One we've done already, another one's coming up. So it could be like, this girl could go with either of these guys, really. Even though it's very blatant that she should only be with one of them because the other guy's a complete nut job. But
well, plus, I mean, historically, not that this necessarily follows the comics exactly, but she's often been a love interest for Bruce Wayne, isn't she?
Yes,
a bit of a Lois Lane figure to start off with.
I suppose, we can go into some of the basic history of Vicki Vale for the general character. Introduced in Batman number 49 in October/November of 1948.
That's crazy.
Classically is a red-headed character, and it actually specifies in every version of the script that she's a redhead, and then they just went, nope, she's suddenly now she's blonde. So
I thought it was just because they cast the actress, but when I was looking into it, Bob Kane said she was only ever a redhead in the beginning because of a misprint with the color.
Oh, well, there you go.
She was supposed to be blonde and it printed wrong and they just stuck with it. So in a way, it's harkening back to the roots, so to speak, with nobody even realizing.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Except Bob Kane.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, Bob Kane co-created her with Bill Finger. So I think Bill Finger came and told me she's supposed to be blonde. Then I'd believe it. But
you're a Bill Finger man.
Yeah, I'm a fingerist.
Actually, that sounds like a good name, Bill Fingerman.
But this is Vicki Vale as a character who's appeared in many iterations of Batman. Apparently dating way back into his first appearances on screen. She was in one of the early serials of Batman and Robin in 1949. She was portrayed by Jane Addams, not the Jane Addams who's like in loads of stuff now, was Mel in Frasier and like was in Father of the Bride Part 2, and the other members of the Jane Addams Club that I run will know who she is. But
I can't say I've ever seen the serials.
No, they're not very well. Oh, they're not. They've not even got the charm of the Adam West show, because that has its campy insanity. The old serials are just very, very dated. So
I can imagine. I've seen stills of them, and that's enough for me. I'm happy.
But and then she was featured in the direct-to-video film The Batman vs. Dracula, which again going back to Batman and vampirism, which is a big thing in this film apparently.
I could see that being I mean, it's stupid, but semi-interesting at the same time. I mean, yeah. But the fake bat versus the, I don't say the real bat because, well, Dracula's not actually a bat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I get you. But in that she was voiced by Tara Strong, who has done the voice of everyone in everything ever. So,
including my voice on this show.
Hell yeah. Thanks for filling in, Tara. Billy John couldn't
It's
be.
my pleasure.
But Tara Strong been in loads and loads and loads of stuff, including a lot of Batman stuff, where she frequently plays Barbara Gordon, and she plays Harley Quinn now in the Arkham video game series after Arlene Sorkin stepped down after the first game. So
yeah. I forgot about that actually. I'm a terrible host.
But anyway, so that is beyond that, Vicki Vale was a character introduced as a Lois Lane type. Was quite prominent for a few years, fell away, much like Harvey Dent fell away in the 60s and then resurged again in the 70s. And now she's in this film. So,
well, did they just try and trim out a lot of the fat in the 60s or something? Like let's simplify this story.
I'm not too sure why they got rid of Vicki Vale. I think they got rid of Two-Face because he was just a bit of a grim character, like a big, like a properly grotesque, disfigured.
Too much.
Yeah. There's like, it's too much. To quote Maroney from The Dark Knight, it's too much.
Well, I know they got rid of quite a lot of the side characters then, didn't they? A lot of the stupid ones as well.
Yeah, well, in the 60s, they had plenty of stupid characters.
What was that one? Is it Batmite?
Oh, Batmite, yeah.
Yeah.
Batmite was the Batman's answer to the Superman villain whose name I always have trouble with, Mr. Mxyzptlk, which was...
Well done.
But I wanted to call as well the our fans Bat-Minute Mites, but I think you poo-pooed it. Took a couple of when we were starting out. I was like, I want to call. And I remember you been like, no, it's a deep cut. No one's gonna get that. So
I thought like it's good, but people will just even Batman fans will mostly be like, huh, what?
I think you underestimate the love for, or not love, at least begrudging knowledge of Batmite, but
the tolerance.
Yeah, pretty much. But shall we? Oh, so we've not even really started the minute here. So let's
minutes.
Should we press on?
Minute 14.
So we got Vicki Vale, and then Knox comes out with as much crap as I give Knox. I have, in analyzing the film a minute at a time, found things to like about him. And I particularly like this line. This
controversial.
He does the old Vicki Vale, the photographer of Cosmo. But then he does like, if you want to shoot me in the nude, you're gonna need a long lens. Which I was like, that's a pretty good joke. So
I'll let him off for that one. That one's funny. But the way he, I don't know whether he's being serious or he's just trying to sort of annoy her a little bit. But the way he assumes, because she's a woman, obviously she just does Vogue and Cosmo. She's not a real photographer.
To be fair, though, it might be that like maybe that's where she got her start. And then he's just like, I know her from that. And she's been like, no, I've done more significant work since. Which maybe
normally I would say that's a possibility. But it's already, he's a bit of a sexist. So I don't know with Knox.
There is quite the high probability of that as well, because he instantly doesn't. He's instantly, as we see at the end of this minute, he's proposing marriage. He starts dogging this woman. It's like he is interested in her. And it's like it's no like, I should respect this woman as a colleague. He's just like, this is a woman. I'm gonna get my end away. This is Alexander Knox's mission for the film now, basically.
She quickly changes his mind in this bit, and then a little bit later that cements it, I think, because in this bit he picks up Time magazine and obviously sees that she has actually been photographing not Vogue and Cosmo, but the CORTO Maltese Revolution. So she's the real deal.
Oh yeah. It's a it's a photo of presumably a dead body in the sand next to a door. It looks a bit like a wooden door, or it could be the covering of like a a shelter or something. It looks.
Yeah, I thought maybe like a wall or a door or something like that. It's
But
kind of hard to make it out.
but it looks like it's a dead guy next to a thing, basically.
That's a good way of summing it up. Well, and I looked into. Well, I mean, obviously the CORTO Maltese Revolution isn't a real event.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in the fictional country that DC have. With a strange name, CORTO Maltese. That's the name of the country, which doesn't sound right.
There is a history to where that comes from as well. Because this is a very overt reference to The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh yeah, Frank Miller.
Which is had great success in the years leading up to this film's release, and the CORTO Maltese Revolution featured heavily in the plot line for that, where it was a dispute between the U.S. and the Soviets over a revolution. The Soviet. A dispute that was happening with a rebellion in CORTO Maltese, and I believe the U.S. sided with the government, and the Soviets. The U.S. supported the government. The Soviet unit supported the rebels, and this all ends when everything bubbles over and there's a nuclear missiles launched, and Superman gets called in and he goes and he gets it out of there. And there's a very memorable bit where the bomb blows up and he's caught in the radiation. And we get this desiccated, skeletal Superman crashing down to Earth. And he has to, grab a sunflower to, suck up its solar energy. And so it's actually it's a really cool bit if you've not read the book. Spoilers for The Dark Knight Returns, by the way. So,
well, one thing I always remember when I hear about this, though, I love the name of the nuke because it's got a name. It's called Cold Bringer, which is quite funny for something that's so hot. Maybe it's the aftermath, the nuclear winter.
Yeah, well, it's hot, then it's cold. It's yes, then it's no. It's in, then it's out.
I was really hoping that's where you were going with that.
But yeah, as we alluded to a moment ago, CORTO Maltese is also the name, and in itself is a reference to one of Frank Miller's big inspirations. Was the CORTO Maltese was the name of the title character of a comic series by Hugo Pratt that originated in 1967. Hugo Pratt's an Italian comic book artist and writer, and his style went on to influence Sin City, the black and white imagery of Sin City, and I think even as recent as the premiere of the Suicide Squad film, Frank Miller showed up wearing a CORTO Maltese T-shirt.
That's vague.
But apparently, so he really loved this character who was a seafaring adventurer called CORTO Maltese, and
it doesn't sound right as a name or as a place. CORTO Malta. I think because I'm thinking of Malta, and Maltese would be the language.
I keep thinking of they could have done a Batman tie-in of CORTO Maltesers. And it's here's a bit of merchandise for you right there. It's have that dead guy with the door or whatever on the cover. And stuff.
Do they have those in America? They have the same thing. Are they called Maltesers? I don't think they are. Are they? What are they called?
I don't know, actually. I've assumed it was an international thing, but you might be right.
Got them. Maybe they do have them. I don't know.
So I've always wanted to try Milk Duds because I'm not too sure what they are.
No, I like them.
Oh, they are not Maltesers then. They're a completely different entity. Okay.
Yeah, they're different. I think they might be malted, but they're not. They're not remotely the same.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't understand why they're popular at the cinema. They don't seem they're quite chewy. But I don't know. People eat all kinds of weird things at the movies. I don't know why people eat nachos.
Yeah.
Messy, smelly. I mean, I love nachos, but not in the dark.
Yeah, I'm not a big food in the cinema guy. I'll bring in if I'm in a rush to get somewhere or to get to the cinema, I've had to skip dinner or something, I'll bring a sandwich in or something like that. But then just like I'm not a big like, oh, get the popcorn in kind of guy. I'm like, nah,
Oh, I'm an eater at the best of times.
no, I'm very much just like, nah, just go in and sit down. That's like I don't get the whole. There's a stigma about going to the cinema by yourself. It's like I go to the cinema by myself all the time. It's like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, there shouldn't be a stigma about it. No.
Yeah, because it's like you're not able to talk to the people in there.
Yeah.
And it's like you're experiencing the thing individually anyway.
Yeah,
so
then you talk about it in the pub afterwards.
Yeah, but you could just do that. I'm just there to enjoy the film. Like I'll talk about it to people if they've seen it later on anyway.
Yeah.
But so I don't. But my cinema experience is like you show up, you sit down, you watch the thing,
shut up,
and then you get out. Then you go.
That sounds good. And you don't mess around with your phone.
No, no, I'm very much like no. As soon as the butt's in seat,
That's
like
it.
no, turn it off.
Well, with this movie, Batman, not in theaters currently. Well, maybe it is replaying somewhere.
Well, there's going to be about 50 million Batman films,
Batmen.
But not this one, but other ones coming up because this thing is a cash cow now, baby. Let me tell you.
It was a bit of a gamble at the time, but it paid off, didn't it?
It's like one of those things, like you think back now to like that 85 to 95 period for Star Wars where there was just no Star Wars. It was done. And now that's inconceivable. Now there's like, it's never going to end. It's always like 100 years from now, there'll probably still be some form of Star Wars film being made because somebody's going to keep watching them. So
that upsets me though, that I won't see the whole thing. Oh, you've just made me miserable. We have to end the show now. No, it's over. It's over.
But yeah, but I guess you went through the same thing with the period of the mid 70s to 89 with Batman in like beyond the comic books. It was just like, oh no, Batman's just gone. Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
But now it's dead and buried. But now it's like, oh, you can't get rid of this guy. Like he's clinging on. Like
he is everywhere.
You try to flush him, the Batarang comes back up the toilet and clings on. He pulls himself back up.
Much like Knox here, he may have started respecting Vicki, but he instantly bounces back and comes back to his pretty crude self. He sits on his desk and leans right in her face, and he's a bit sexist again. He says a girl could get hurt doing this stuff. Come on. I think he's trying to be funny though. He's trying to be charming, but he doesn't know how.
Yeah, because he is essentially a charmless character, basically. But yeah, it's I didn't pick up on the sexist overtones of that line right enough. I suppose that is a bit condescending as well. So it's one of those things. So now it's like you have to say it with most films. It's been like it was a different time. Like back in '89, no one would have thought of that. It's like, oh, it's fine. But now it is like, yeah, of course, that you shouldn't say things like that to a fully accomplished. Well, that's the thing, because Vicki Vale seems to be so accomplished in that she's come here. Like we get into now in the upcoming seconds as to why she's in Gotham, and it seems as if she's just writing her own ticket. Like she's sort of showing up, and it's just like I'm interested in this whole Batman thing. And then I'm going to team up with this guy and we're going to pursue it. I would have thought like the Gotham Globe would have to be like, we want this woman here on our payroll and we'll give her assignments. Whereas she seems to have been like, I'm just going to go to Gotham City and pursue this. And I'm going to work for this newspaper, whether they like it or not.
I think that kind of is what she's done. Yeah, like she's so big. It's like, screw it. I'm going there. I'm doing this story because I want to. No one's stopping me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We get in the upcoming seconds as well. She does have 2 tickets to the Bruce Wayne benefit, and I was like, maybe she was there to photograph that. But then she goes to it, and she never photographs anything. So I guess not.
No, she's not interested in that. She's in town, as she says, to see bats. Like, what are the odds of that? She's in town to see bats, and there's a Batman. Perfect.
I have to say, don't like this dialogue. Think this is
bit cringy.
This is clunky. The thing is, it's like later on in the same scene. There's pretty good dialogue, but like this bit is just like, oh, okay. In contrast to the original script, in the original script, Knox and Vicki Vale are old friends.
Yeah, they've known each other quite a long time, haven't they? I was quite surprised by that when I was reading it.
Yeah, and he's like, again, it's a slightly sleazy moment, because like he sees her legs, and then he's like, "Oh, Vicki Vale," and she's like, "Oh, how did you know it was me?" And he's like, "I know every inch of Vicki Vale." And I was like, "Oh, that's creepy."
Yeah.
But then he
Oh.
indicates to her photography bag, and it's got a VV on it, and he's like, "That's how I knew." But
Still, that's a bit sleazy. To your friend. Oh.
And that, yeah, but the whole vibe of them seems to be a bit more like an old, like, His Girl Friday kind of newsroom,
Yeah.
the kind of like the fast talking, they give each other guff, but they're really friends, and it's I like that aspect, and you get a bit of this later on with them in this scene even as well.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, at this point, though, she's she's not really taking anything he says seriously, though. So, I mean, that tells you quite a bit about her character. Like, she's as strong as she appears,
It works better for me if they have known each other. She's come back because she's like, I've read this stuff about this Batman thing. I want to pursue this with you because we're old friends.
Yeah.
And like, but this seems to be a bit like, I don't know you. I've come here, and then they have this really terrible like, I just like bats, and it's just like, what? And then that's it. Then it's like, boom, we're away we go. Now these two are partners, and that's that. And it's like, it's a bit flimsy. It's like, I would have rather they had known each other, and I don't know why they changed it. Even it's just why
that's her trying to be charming. Now that's her attempt at being cool, and they're both rubbish.
I do like her delivery of how should we approach this dialogue here to like go through it? Because like, yeah, she goes in the whole bats thing, and then he sighs and he's like, oh, who sent you? Because he's obviously been getting loads of crap from everybody about this, and now it's leaked out to the big names like Vicki Vale have shown up to make fun of the
everyone's
guys. But and then as she goes into I just like bats, and it's like, oh. But
well, she does something I find interesting in the next bit. Stop me if you want to say something about this, like as a lead up. But when she says she loves Knox's article, and wants to work together because she thinks they can win the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
Now, is it me, or does she pronounce this really strange? She says the PEWlitzer. Is that how you pronounce it? And I've been wrong all this time. I thought it was Pulitzer Prize.
I think I've heard both over the years. I think I didn't blink at it. I thought like,
you've heard it both ways.
Yeah, I thought like, yeah, I have it all ways, man.
The PEWlitzer. It was just very drawn out. Pew. It could be an accent thing that I'm not getting on.
I was going to say, where is Kim Basinger from? And I remembered, I've looked it up, and I've got a definitive answer as to how to say her name. Apparently, she herself has specified that it's a bay and a hard G on the ger, but it is sing as well, so it's Basinger.
Basinger.
You have to almost say it in an American accent, like Basinger, because it's so apparent.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's Basinger. So yeah.
English people can't do it. And you can do it. Irish, you're halfway.
But that was just, that's why I'm like, Kim Bay City Roller. Done. That's all I'm giving her now. But
Bay City.
But I did look up where she's from. I'll see. I put it in a separate note though. So I was going to, because I know that Robert Wool is another New Jersey native.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, yeah. So I think it's not intentional that at all. But like it's that she's I didn't even make a note of where she was from. I made a note of her ancestry, but she's like, we can cut all this out. I was gonna go into like more depth. It's like, when we get to a duller moment, we'll go in deep on her background and stuff, because I thought we had plenty to work with at this moment.
Yeah, it's still So yeah, Vicky wants them to meet at Bruce Wayne's benefit night for something. I don't really know what it's for. Is it for bats? I reckon it's a bat thing, raising money.
I think it is. It is. I think it does specify when we get to it that it's.
It does. Shush. You're ruining the illusion.
But yeah, it's,
no, it does. It does clear that up later.
We get the beginnings of a good bit of banter between, or a bit of like back and forth rapport between the two characters, because I like this business here of like she mentions that, and then Knox just kind of jokingly pretends to look through his things and says like, well, I don't seem to have an invite. No. And then she flashes the tickets and he's like, yes. And I thought that's well done. I like that. But
yeah, that makes him a bit more believable as a duo.
And that's the kind of thing I wanted. We potentially could have had they stuck with the original idea of the characters, but like you get a bit of it here. It's not as strong as it could be.
I also love the attention to detail though that Knox doesn't have an invite.
Oh, of course
why would he?
Yeah, why
who wants that guy?
Exactly. Why would you want him? But nobody wants him anywhere. Apparently, that's probably why he's so like. I'm the sleaze on the charm so thickly here. It's because he has he has no idea how to interact with someone who actually wants to be with him, so, or who wants to at least converse with him for a brief period. So,
well, it especially ups the ante with the weirdness because when she produces the 2 tickets, he asks Vicky to marry him. He's so happy to have these tickets. Now that's weird.
And she, I think that's like, oh, it's playful banter. But then she has again, I liked her, like, she has that kind of jokingly, like, nope, like a real...
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. But, and that's where the dialogue for this minute ends.
Yeah, technically cuts off halfway through the sound of the no, but we're gonna play it. She says no, that's fine.
Yeah, she could say no, or she could be saying, not today, but tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we've misjudged. Or nobody else would make my evening so happy.
Potentially. That's almost definitely what it is. But I've got a few other notes here that just things I wanted to mention. One little note I made, like, because people make fun of, the Joker at one point, when he sees a picture of Knox later in the film, says, like, oh, bad tie, no style. I have to say, I actually like Knox's outfit in this scene.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's better than most people dress for work these days.
Yeah, I like that suit. I made a note as well that that's the shirt he's wearing is the same shirt he had on in a previous minute from a previous night, which would is a different tie. Which I thought, like, it's an indication that he's not a rich guy. He's a lowly reporter. So he has to wear the same shirt like 2 days in a row. He's not. He just has to throw on a different tie, and it's like this is today's ensemble.
Well, that's probably why it's not liked by Jack, because his will be a bespoke, like tailor made.
The shirt itself is like a kind of purplish, pinky, with white stripes, and then he's got that like a red tie with yellow dots. And that strikes me like you slap on a purple suit on top of that. That's a Joker outfit. Like that seems like that's totally something the Joker would wear.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like it.
Well, it could be. It could also be that like he's not. I think the photo he gets is black and white, so maybe he's like, oh, he's not seeing the color. He's not like
he saw it in color, but oh, it's magnificent.
He's like, oh God, get me this guy's tailor, even though clearly he can't afford a tailor. But. And then beyond that, let's talk about Knox's noteboard.
Let's.
Because I've tried to decipher a few things on there. It's not quite as easy to read as Cassandra's dad from the previous minutes. But we see a few things behind Vicki Vale. We see it looks like it's an apple with a Statue of Liberty inside it.
It's a big apple.
Yeah, big apple. There you go. Could be. Is it supposed to indicate it's his Is it an aspirational thing? There's like he's hoping to go to New York to be a big shot reporter there, or is it that he's come from New York to Gotham and that's a little reminder of home?
Maybe he couldn't get a job there.
Could be. Yeah, because maybe he's not well liked in New York either. He's just like, Gotham's the best place for him. Just the only place that would take him.
I imagine New York is full of reporters. Maybe it's just from movies. I think everybody is a PI or a reporter.
Or a surly taxi driver out for...
That's where I was going, yeah.
The become the real rain that'll cleanse the scum off the streets. Gotham, they do it much more theatrically, where they dress up as bats to clean the real scum off the streets. So.
Welcome to Taxi Driver Minute.
The Taxi Driver Minute's one I can imagine will happen, like, eventually down the line. I'm surprised no one's pitched it already, to be fair.
I don't know, I love Taxi Driver, and I love all movies from that era, but I don't know, minute by minute, there's some long shots in these things.
Yeah, someone's... I think Taxi Driver is prime for it. There's a lot of stuff in there. Although I did do, like, back in university, I did a big project on the film, so I'll be like, I could talk about that for hours, but...
let's prove me wrong, children.
Prove me wrong. But yeah, then we got a couple of other, like, random bits and bobs of newspaper cuttings. But on the main thing that drew my eye was that in the top left, there appears to be a black and white photo of a giant blow-up doll of something that resembles Popeye. But I'm not entirely sure if that's what it is.
I mean, now you've said it, yeah. I didn't come up with that myself, but now you've pointed it out. That's all I can see.
I think that's where my mind went was, yeah, it's Popeye for whatever reason. So
you always got Popeye on the brain.
I think I hadn't thought about Popeye since I was about 6 years old, but yeah, it looks like it's drastically deformed chin. It looks like it has a little white hat on top. It's got the kind of puffy arms, and it's got it's in black and white, but it's a dark colored shirt, and it looks like Popeye to me. So
he's an ill man.
But again, though, it's like, fair enough. Maybe he's a Popeye fan. Why is it a picture of an inflatable Popeye? Like, what's going on with that? But
I legitimately have no answer to that question.
It could be maybe they're trying to frame him as like, well, Popeye was always, because spoilers for the rest of the film, there's a kind of love triangle between Bruce Wayne, Knox, and Vicki Vale. Although it goes off then, the Joker gets involved too. Everyone wants a bit of Vicki Vale.
Love square?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But it could be that, like, maybe, like, because Popeye was always trying to get olive oil away from Bluto, and maybe they're framing it like he's Popeye and Bruce Wayne is Bluto. That's like
that's really obscure if that's what they're going for.
It seems as well.
But,
like, maybe Knox would see himself that way, but I don't know if the rest of the world would. I think everyone would say, well, Bruce Wayne's he's the hero of the film. Plus, he's much more charming than he's not a big brutish lump like Bluto is. So.
No, he's a gentleman.
But so that was just one thing though. In examining it minute by minute, that really drew my attention to being like, what's up with that?
If you have any ideas about what's up with that, please send them in.
It's like, what's the deal? It's our news segment. What's the deal with the Popeye picture?
Well, if you do genuinely have anything to say, send it in, because we'll gladly read things out. But
it might be like a couple of weeks after you send it because of the style in which we record this. But we will get to, like, if someone emails in with a legitimate, this is what I think, and it's a good one, then we'll, of course, even if it's a bad one, well, I'd just be happy to get the email, to be fair. So I'll be like, someone's actually listening to the show. So,
and I'd be happy to get an email that isn't spam, to be fair.
But beyond that, we see a little gold plane on Knox's desk, and at one point you see he has golf clubs in the corner. But beyond that's me for this minute. That's all I got.
Yeah. Got nothing else here. All noted out.
Oh, one thing I did also want to note.
Oops, stop the presses.
Is Knox mentions that and when they're talking about the Batman, he says the commissioner's got a file on this. I can't even get him on the phone, and I'm wondering if it falls in line with of course the commissioner wouldn't answer to Knox, but again from what we have seen of Gordon in this film. Does he really have a file on him? Or is he just like, he tells people, oh, I'm on top of this Batman thing. And he's like, oh, I've opened up a file. It's like, he's not even tried. He's like, Batman, oh, come on. The wheel starts in 15 minutes. I gotta get home to the wife, But, yeah, that's all I've got for this minute. So,
nothing here. I would give a shout out to a show or two, but, I think we've done that most episodes, and you've probably all heard them all. So, actually, is there any we haven't given a shout out to?
It must be. I think there's.
Have we done Princess Bride minute?
No, we have not. No. I think there's a load of ones that are like either in the works or have just launched. So.
Oh yeah.
But cause I know, beyond Princess Bride minute, there's a Tarantino minute that just started.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
You can wrap up.
Ooh, me. Ooh,
I just want to see the comedic thing of you trying to remember.
Okay, all right, right, okay. Because I think I'm not fussed about social media and myself, so I'm like, what? So yeah, it's right then. Wrapping up.
Yes, this has paid off already.
But so if you do wish to follow us in any other manner online beyond the podcast itself, you can find us on Twitter at BatMinute89. On Facebook, we have the BatMinute89 Listeners Society, and also just a general page for general liking, I guess. I believe we are on Instagram as well.
Correct.
And we are on Tumblr. All at BatMinute89.
Correct.
I'll save you a little bit of effort, people. I've found in my own experience, if you just Google the title of the show, just type it into Google, you will eventually find what you're looking for. Yeah. So if you're like, I wonder if they have a Twitter page, we do, and you can. You're good, intelligent people of 2017. Sorry, not to age it, of current year. So
of insert year.
Yeah, so you know how to look for things and how to find them. And we are under the veil of the title of our show, BatMinute89, on most platforms except for Etsy and Pinterest.
Coming soon.
Yep.
All right, good work.
Hey.
Hey. But yes, we are out. Peace.
Yep. Next time. Criminal Conference. As Boss Grissom doles out dastardly deeds to a dependable dupe, just what card is fate going to deal Jack Napier? Find out next time. Same Bat Pod.
Different Bat Minute.